Salibonane Mabuyane, you are listening to the Girls Table podcast, and I am your host, Bekezela. In case you are wondering what the Girls Table does, the Girls Table is a non-profit organization that amplifies young women's voices on socio-economic, political, and cultural issues through media and ICTs. So namhlanje in our podcast, we are talking about issues that affect young women, and our topic is gender-based violence against women and girls with disability. I am joined by Primrose, who is a PWD activist, to talk about gender-based violence leyi. Primrose, hope uyaphila namhlanje. Ngicela ukuthi usinikeze an insight on violence faced by girls and women with disability.
Salbonan. My name is Ndlovu Primrose. I'm a PWDs activist, and today I'm going to share my 2 thoughts on violence to women or young ladies living with disabilities. And when it comes to disability issues and violence or gender-based violence, kuningi izinto ezenzakala, especially behind closed doors, because mostly we have this belief that a disabled person believes ukuthi umuntu ogogekile or a disabled person ngeke bephile bevodwa, they need someone ovele ebe provider or what, of which to some extent is not the truth. We can survive without people's help. We can survive on our own. But kusuka kube sokuthini ukuthi for those who are married, for those who are lucky to get into relationships, mostly when they get into that marriage, abanye is marriage of inconvenience, ukuthi endlini kumbe abangakini bathi vele wena isigoga uzathatha ngubani, kungabuya anyone who's willing ukuthatha bevele bethi hamba kade yamthola ngapha umuntu ozakuthatha ngesimo kuso. You make it sound like being disabled is a disease, while you used to all know what it's a condition and I can survive, I can do or be anything that I want despite disability. And then into mina remember, we've got different disabilities, and in our different disabilities we've got challenges that we face depending on the disability that you have. For example, let's look at people living with albinism. If you take notes, people living with albinism, they're mostly bathethiswa nge-skin color yabo, or vele what's on the thought is skin color yabo, but phela wena uyinkawu, of which that I believe it's violence. Ngeke ubuye onizonithethisa ngendlela engiyoya, but when you do the same thing, so ngumuntu omubi ukuthi awusumphendula ngendlela ukhuluma ngayo. So uyabona, the moment ubona society ayini-accept nge-disability, amsengibiza mina njengomuntu olenkawu, utshele nxa umntwana usakhula ingadlali lo mntakazi bani, that's on its own. I believe it's abuse, right? Because we have the freedom to live, the right to live, the right to socialize, right? And then we have people living with the hearing impairment. Mostly it's communication breakdown. Imagine me being deaf and then I get married to someone who doesn't have a disability. They don't know how to communicate. We are married, but there is a kind of a communication breakdown. As one, and that is abuse on it. Because unless I get I'm free to express myself. And in most cases, most disabled people, they are used by agencies. We've got different beliefs when it comes to people with disabilities. They'll tell you a person who's living with albinism, they can be used for immunity. That is abuse. And then now when we're looking at the gender-based violence, we are seeing that women with disabilities, they also do get abused. Emsebenzini, into ukuthi nxa ufuna ukuthi ungincedele or ngikwenzele something, there's something that I need to get through sex, that is abuse. And sometimes umuntu akutshela ukuthi no ngizakuncedisa but lawe you have to pay me in kind, and lawo kind ubona but lapha veze yasho I need this person's help. And some people stay in abusive marriages ngoba yabengela ndawo yokuhamba. I have a disability, maybe ngikhaya vele bavele bathi mbona uzokuthatha le disability yakho le. It's an advantage to sithola umuntu okuthethe senza hlala ngenxa yokuthi awula muntu lapha engabuyela khona.
Thank you so much, Primrose. That was informative, eye-opening. I hope from today we stand up and protect our sisters and mothers with disability against gender-based violence. So, Primrose, what impact does this violence have on people with disability, and what should be done to protect them?
So, now as someone who's being abused, you'll take note ukuthi mostly people or children who comes from an abusive home or who are in an abusive relationship or in an abusive marriage, their self-esteem is low, their confidence levels iyayehla, their self-worth, self-value konke kuyayehla. Because one, i-mentality abeselayo ukuthi mina I don't matter, angiqakathekanga kula muntu ongithandayo. Okunye umuntu uyafeel ukuthi angaze ephume phandle bebona ngani ukuthi no ungcolile or the source, abantu babona ukuthi kahle kahle ikune okwenzeka kuwe, so bengasakhululekanga to hang around with people, bengasakhululekanga even to express themselves. Because omunye abekwazi endlini, if I say this akula muntu vele ondlalelayo like vele wena ungathini, kumbe wena into evela kuwe, does it make sense? So uzabona ukuthi i-self-worth, confidence levels vele kuyavele kuyehle. And for abantwana who come from an abusive relationship, for them to fit to society, it will take long. And abanye they'll end up believing ukuthi vele ukutshaya is the right way, it's the only way ukutshengisa someone to yamthanda. While singakhangela to that song yahlatshela ngo-Nkiti Sandra Ndebele Amara, isithi love shouldn't hate. Angithi akumelanga ukuthi uphathi kothando but you're feeling the pain, uyachaya all in the name of love. Ayisikho khona. So a person who's being abused kukasoze kwanisa ukuba to feel or to express themselves. And as a society, what can we do to protect them? One, I think ukuthi kumele sifundise everyone, if we are going for ama campaigns kulo mhlangano, community mhlangano on gender-based violence or on any types of violences, abuse. I think abantu living with disabilities, they have to be included. And lingathathi njengokuthi thina we don't face the problems that you do ngenxa yokuthi thina we are disabled. But what I can tell you is you'll be shocked to find out that maybe I am the one who's facing harsh problems than you or harsh abuse than you. You've got this thing, sometimes people have got this mentality ukuthi for people living with disabilities, LG, life is good, or uzomuntu phela mina inkathazo inhlupho engihlangana lazo uzibani kahlangani lazo. Mbona utshelile khona lokho. Call us, include us, teach us on abuse, teach us on gender-based violence. Omunye umuntu uyale that thing yokuthi vele ukuchaya endlini luthando, and umhlaba emchaya kasoze ebone anything wrong because kuyabe kuluthando. And then ama campaigns eliwayenzayo, if you are talking on gender-based violence, if you are talking on abuse, please make them disability friendly. Accommodate us with our different disabilities.
Thank you so much, Primrose. Last but not least, please explain if people with disability are engaged in gender-based violence, and please explain your answer.
When you're looking at gender-based violence campaigns and you look for people with disabilities. You find a few. So we can say maybe those who are advantaged or laba batholayo yibo often ngababona kuma campaigns. But even if we are looking at those campaigns, they're not inclusive. You'll find out ukuthi siyahamba u-campaign sibe sipha ama-pamphlets. I-pamphlet laba kuphe yona, you are blind, is not written in braille, so maybe ucela umakhelwane ukuthi ukubalele ukuthi ukubhalweni. We also maybe go for the GBV workshops, or their posters. There's no sign language interpreter, meaning that the hearing impaired, they are left out. Sihambe kuma campaigns, uthola ukuthi indawo lapha bavume khona ukuthi siyenze, it's a flat. But agayizeni ilokhuzeni yethu iku-first floor. Alright, perfect, first floor. Nxa lifika ilokhuzeni i-lift ayisebenzi. I-lift ayisebenzi. Umuntu osebenzisa i-wheelchair is now at a disadvantage. Ngoba ngisho zathwala umuntu from ground to first floor. And then in most cases, for us, people living with disabilities, they've got their assistances. Assistant. And then also we've got a workshop on GBV, a campaign on GBV, every culture. It transport, expenditure. Okay, fine, since attend the workshop and the culture. So can you when if now we are so humble on job. Either you pay for yourself, you pay for your wheelchair, and you pay for your assistant. So I feel this is something that either the government or people, us as a community at large, as a country at large, you have to take it into consideration. Campaigns, we're including the disabled people. We also have to include their needs in it. Must buy budget or send that. So needs about no they need assistive devices. A sign language interpreter is the infrastructure accommodative for them. Remember, we are your assistant, right? Because sometimes what makes people not attend the GBV campaigns, it's lack of knowledge. They will send the message. Tell you to listen the message. Have you ever seen a sign language? This sign language is in Ndebele. Kumbe lokho kuthana le isindebele a hearing impairment person can read isindebele. So liyabona ukuthi we have to know ama-disabilities, know how to assist them. Inkwasi zaba include kuma campaigns ethu. Because isikhathi esiningi we try but against. So I think ukuthi if possible to have at least organizations that are dealing with GBV, they need to have a disability specialist or have someone ololwazi ngama-disabilities. Kwenza ukuthi if you are planning an event or planning something, limbuze ukuthi no, this is what we want to do. What can you offer or what can we add so that we include abantu abalama-disabilities?
Thank you so much for listening to my podcast until the end, and I hope we learned something from this podcast, and we will make sure that in our gender-based violence campaigns we involve people with a disability ngoba asikwazi ukubakhulumela, we don't know ukuthi bona ba affected kanjani, so we need to have their voices included kuma gender-based violence campaigns. Please don't forget to follow us on our social media pages. Ku Twitter is table_girls, ku Facebook the girls table, ku Instagram the.girls table, sikhona futhi la ku YouTube if you want to see our talk shows and our podcast. Lalela, don't forget to also tune in ku radio show yethu edlala every Thursday ngo 1600 hours eSky's Metro FM, lapho esikhuluma khona ngezinto ezihlukumeza ama-young women. Until next time, from me and the girls table, Rico Lebuangamanda.